Hey YouTube, decided to film another video while I have the little baby here. I thought I got a lot of good feedback on the last video. People really appreciated seeing her little face. So I figured we'd get dressed up today and be a little bit presentable. But I think there's a storm brewing in the background, and I think some thunder has really scared her. So uh, she's a little bit terrified at the moment. Um, so, poor baby girl. She's wearing her business outfit. You probably can't tell. She's got a tie on, but she's trying to hide from the ominous thunder in the background. Anyways, gonna be a quick video. Like I said, I kind of just wanted to take advantage of still having her around. Might be a while till I have her back around. So, some news today, crypto.com has announced instant bank transfers for fiat deposits, which is, I think, pretty big. One of the biggest things I hear people complaining about when they use the platform is it takes forever to deposit their fiat currency to use the platform, and now it's instant. So that should be a big win for crypto.com. Other than that, there's ongoing news with the markets, tension around Russia, Ukraine. So there's a lot up in the air still. Bitcoin is having a little bit of a pullback today. Oh, I'll protect you. Bitcoin's having a little bit of a pullback today because who knows why. But, like I said, I'm still kind of up in the air about where it's going in the short term. I think it's going to be a little bit of a recovery. Even if we do look like we're going to make a breakout, I think it's pretty likely that it comes back down because it's just not going to go that fast. Would be nice. Again, I'd love to be wrong. So, other than that, I did want to also talk about a project I just started getting involved in. Not sure if maybe I'll pull in some new viewers this way because I haven't really yet talked about it or tagged anything about it yet. But I decided to get involved and do a do-it-yourself EXA miner to mine SCP. And the do-it-yourself version was pretty affordable as far as getting a miner. I already had a computer that I dedicated to GPU mining, and there wasn't much else going on with it, so I figured I might as well rent out the hard drive space. If you're familiar with what SCP is, or what an EXA miner is, basically it's like chia farming or anything else like that where you rent out your hard drive space for like cloud storage. And so, I had the computer lying around. I figured I might as well make a miner out of it. And I gotta admit, the reason I wanted to do the do-it-yourself version is because the miner that is being sold, that is the plug-and-play version, is really expensive for what you're getting. I mean, you're basically just getting a bunch of hard drives, and it costs like thousands of dollars. Supposedly you can get a rebate back in SCP, which may or may not be good depending on what the cost of SCP ends up being when you get it. And it is like a slowly unlocked rebate, so who knows. But I just figured the initial investment would be much more affordable to make my own. And so that ended up being a lot more complicated than I thought it would be. I'm not like a tech ignoramus. I have not too much background in kind of like networking or setup of anything, but like I have always flattered myself as fairly competent in learning things and following instructional videos pretty well. And for me, this was like this was a very difficult setup with lots of pain points along the way where some problem solving was required. And to be honest with you, I didn't do it myself. I even had to recruit the help of my cousin, Phantom Marth. So shout out to you on YouTube. If you guys like Call of Duty, he streams Call of Duty. He's really good, so go check him out, Phantom Marth on YouTube. I think he's doing shorts too. But yeah, he is a little bit more tech savvy than I, a little bit more capable of researching what, when, how, why to do things. And he got me up and running, so thanks for him. But it was crazy difficult. And you know, so I've had the miner up and running for about four days or so, and I went with an 8 terabyte hard drive to offer for storage, and I am being used for a whopping 1.6 gigabytes of storage currently. So you know, obviously you're gonna only get rewarded for what's being used. And you know, I'm not sure if it's just because the project is so early. There aren't many people. The supply and demand is just completely outweighed right now. There are, last I checked, 46 petabytes of data being offered to be used, and 750 gigabytes that are actually being used. So, you know, there's just way more supply and not very much demand right now. Who knows? It's a very young project, that might change. But my guess is unless it really takes off pretty quickly, it's not going to be profitable for a very long time, because if you do want to go the plug and play route, where you just buy a pre-made Examiner that you can just plug in and connect, they are on back order, actually. So even as expensive as they are, just like everything else, the supply chain is being crushed. So I think if you order one, you're still several months away from getting it. And so as these orders do eventually get filled, I mean, the network is already way oversupplied, and we're just going to keep seeing more and more and more and more hard drive space come available to be used. And you know, that's not a bad thing. You know, the more space there's available, obviously the more people can be hosted. But you know, if all of that space comes online and nobody is attracted to use the hard drive space, you know, if it's not a build it and they'll come scenario, then we could be looking at just a long time before you get any revenue from it. But like I said, I had the computer that I just run 24/7 anyways, and to be able to make something else out of it is to me kind of just like a why not scenario. So I'll just monitor it, see where it's going. You know, hopefully it picks up soon, and I'll maybe post an update video on that. But yep, so I wouldn't really entirely recommend getting into it at this point, but you know, do your own due diligence, do your own research. You know, not financial advice, all the usual disclaimers. Still trying to grow the channel. I'm getting closer and closer to 100 subscribers, at which point I'd like to do a 100 Crow giveaway. So stay tuned for details on that. Looks like I might get there at some point. I mean, if I keep making videos. And do it for the little girl, Ian. That's her name. I don't know if I've ever said it. She is the credible crypto Corgi, but her name is Ian. And yeah, that's a really long and complicated story. And maybe one day I'll enlighten the viewership if that's what they want. So leave me some feedback. I don't know. What do you want me to? Do you want me to cover any topics, or just make a video about Ian and her name? Okay. Well, toodaloos.